I just want to get back to this idea about the rat race, ambition, lack thereof, American culture, and how freeing it is to get out of it. I've got a confession to make. I'm not a very ambitious person. I say it's a confession because where I'm from in the United States, I think it's kind of taboo to say that. But yeah, it's true. I remember I heard a phrase once, not everybody can be the leader of the band. And I always kind of liked that. I always kind of resonated with that. Hey guys, my name is Jesse. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching my video. I haven't always been a lazy sort. I mean, I work hard. I am an instructor at the University of Pittsburgh, and yeah, I put a lot into my classes and I work hard. And in fact, this year, I made it a point to work less hard. I remember I got an observation in the fall semester, and one of the themes of it, you know, after it's a very complimentary observation, and then the criticism sort of felt like I was working too hard. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what it was. My observer, a fellow professor at the university, she said she was looking at the detailed notes that I write about each composition, about how many extra hours I must put into it in first drafts, in final drafts, and her fear was that I would burn out. Her fear was that I was working too hard, that I needed to find a way to, well, I don't know, work smarter, not harder. The thing is that she was exactly correct. And I know that she's correct because it is what Summer, my wife, is always telling me about, that I should just calm down, relax. And especially for how little I was getting paid, whether it was at Wuhan University in China, or where I am now at Pitt, where I am an adjunct instructor, which is academia word for part-timer. And because I'm a part-timer, and because I didn't have any other part-time jobs, I had a lot of time on my hands. And I like the feedback I give. I like helping students. But the reality is that universities, they take advantage of teachers because teachers generally are motivated by helping others. And that can really put us in a bad position. It can put us in a position of being taken advantage of voluntarily. So in this just completed spring semester at Pitt, I made a conscious effort of doing less. And you know what? I loved it. But here's the rub, and going back to what I said about ambition and being taboo in America, I really don't like the rat race. I know that's not news. Nobody likes the rat race. But I have spent my whole life basically hating it, trying to avoid it. I have had very few office jobs in my life. Most of my life I was a sports writer covering the NBA, and then I was teaching, and mostly teaching abroad in China. And in those jobs, I got summers off, got a lot of time off. And the trade-off is that I never wanted to, I don't know, what's the word? Elevate myself professionally. By the way, I am in Bangkok, Thailand, and I think, well, I know every time I come to Asia, these kind of thoughts, these kind of correct thoughts, just flood my mind, and I want to talk more about it. The last office job I had was in 2002 in San Francisco when I was working for Wired News. And I was a senior editor there, had a stable of reporters, both on staff and freelancers, and it was a proper adult job. I've told the story in other videos about why I quit and went traveling, and I'm not going to go over that again now. I just want to get back to this idea about the rat race, ambition, lack thereof, American culture, and how freeing it is to get out of it. And before I continue, I just want to say, man, it's hot out here. What am I doing out here? Mad dogs and Englishmen, right? And Americans. I'm not the only one. Tin roof. Rusted. I recently ran across these 3 quotes about peace. Inner peace, personal peace, not kind of a world peace or peace we will never have in the Middle East. And I want to read you guys 3 of them from 3 different cultural traditions. The first is from the Dalai Lama, little Tibetan Buddhism. Do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. The next is from Ralph Waldo Emerson, the American transcendentalist. He said, "What the hell are those?" No, he said, "Nobody can bring you peace except yourself." And the last one is from Lao Tzu, the Chinese Taoist philosopher, poet, writer. He said, "If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. And if you are at peace, you are living in the present." And although I only found those quotes yesterday, they resonated in the sense that that is how I've been trying to live my life for the past 20 plus years, and the way I hope to live my life. Of course, it's not easy. But I think coming to Asia, and particularly working in China, really taught me a lot of lessons about living within my means, living on less, not expecting much. I love this. I'm also very curious as to whether the water in there is suitable to boiling tea. Not bad. I think the part about not worrying about others' behaviors is super important. And to add a little to it, little my own spin, it's really crucial not to worry about what other people think. So when I quit my job as senior editor at Wired News, making $62,000 a year plus worthless stock options, I say worthless, if you know about the dot-com bubble bursting around the year 2000, you know what I mean. But if I go back to that time and think of all the people who thought I was crazy, giving up a good job, especially in a recession, and then going off to China, to Asia, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, everything that I did, you can't second guess yourselves based on what other people think. It turned out to be the greatest decision of my life. But of course, and now I'm turning to the Lao Tzu quote about looking to the past, I'll call regret. When I realized that I was not going to get my $62,000 job back when I came back to America, I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of worry. And it took a long while for me to kind of really embrace going back to China, making a small salary, and learning to live in the new environment. And one of the most important things I learned, which, this is not news, is you need to learn to be content by living on less than you earn. But I learned. I don't want to go back to my first job in China, 2004, 2003, when I was making about $400 a month, plus living conditions. I don't say an apartment because I was sharing with students. That's for another story, for another video. But when I was living in Beijing in 2011, 2012-ish, I was making 8,400 RMB, which was, I don't know, maybe $1,200 a month. And yet, I was saving well over half of that, which was not that difficult. They gave me a sweet apartment in the Chaoyang district. Beautiful one-bedroom, small, but really nice. The bus picked us up every morning, took us to school. We got free meals at school. And, the living was cheap and easy. I had gotten away from my San Francisco expensive lifestyle, the occasional expensive dinners, just the idea of transportation, my car, oh my God. Once I got rid of that car, it suddenly became easy to save. By the time I got back to America, I took a job at Southern Illinois University. I had learned that even though I was only making about $40,000 a year, I could live on that. All you have to do is live on less than you earn, and the anxiety floats away. Don't even get me started on the fact that a $2 bowl of noodles in China or Thailand is handmade, not processed, not frozen, and it's healthier than what you can get for 5 times the price back home in America. I just want to add one more element to my discussion today. It's about time. I have always cherished the time off and the trade-off that I'm making for not earning more money, for not getting in the rat race, for not being ambitious as others, for, not being able to get the Springsteen tickets because I can't really afford them. All these trade-offs have really led to a sense of peace, of inner peace, that I know I just didn't possess earlier in my life. And with that, I'm gonna end my video. I really want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, please press the like button. If you have a comment, I'd love to hear about it. Drop one below. And finally, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, subscribe. All right, catch you later. Bye.